I can love you, but we do not have a relationship that lasts. A relationship that does not stand the test of time because we just have to go our separate ways. Also, with being in a relationship with you, I can love you, but hold you accountable for your actions. Hold you accountable for how you handle conflict. Hold you accountable for the things that come out of your mouth, the things you say. Not only does this apply to romantic relationships, but this same thing applies to any relationship, no matter what it is. Friends, family, associates, period. I can love you, have love for you, but put you in a position of accountability to where the state of our relationship, how close we are or how far we are apart, is directly tied to accountability. Let's talk about the uncut truth of love and accountability. So, when I tell you, this is one of those ones I talk about a lot of times with friends, and we sit back and we laugh and we joke about a lot of things, but, let's really be transparent about love, also along with accountability. And I think this is one of those things, I think, for a lot of men in general, struggle with. We have a big issue with drawing a line with where things that just do not align with our purpose, do not align with us, do not align with yourself. But because society told you you are a man and you're supposed to accept whatever falls in your lap. And I'm speaking in this in perspective of relationships, right? And we hadn't even got on romantic relationships yet, but let's talk about relationships with our job and our peers. We grow up, life, we are told to, if you stumble, fall, or somebody hurt your feelings, oh, don't cry about it, And let's just be honest. Most humans do not cry about things that are just very simple. Or we don't cry about misunderstandings. Those things are typically understood. Misunderstandings are typically understood. Arguments happen, especially as youth. As you're growing up, you're gonna have battles with your friends, but then the next day y'all back cool. Like nothing ever happened. That's love. The reason that happened is because of love. The reason that you get into it with a friend about something, then the next day all is forgotten, that is because of love. That is because of love. And as you are growing and developing, we get into the stage in life where everything else in life begins to hit us. And then we start to hold things more intimate to us to a higher level. So what I'm talking about today is just about understanding, really sitting down to yourself and understanding you can love somebody and have love for them, but still hold them accountable for how they make you feel, for their actions. And in the gist of everything I'm saying is that your feelings matter. Your thoughts matter. Your feelings matter. How you feel about something, how you absorb something, how you absorb a delivery, it matters. But there's this running trend to try to tell people that other people are not responsible for how you feel. That is the miseducation that we talk about here on the Uncut Truth. And that is no, absolutely not. Someone makes you feel a certain way, it is your job to be transparent with them and tell them, and break it down to them, right? And so the enemy here is decorum and delivery, which is the true enemy. Because it doesn't mean a person cannot be themselves and not, be true to who they are and just be free. But decorum and delivery is essential. So, let's say if you're and in some cases, there are certain environments where you can't really control that, but you can control how you respond, right? And as we evolve, one of the biggest principles for us to really digest is we have to know how to navigate everything. We have to know how to put everything in its rightful cue. So if I'm at work, automatically have this understanding that I'm going to be around people, I'm going to meet people, be around people who do not share my intimate space. They got their own things going on in their personal lives. So I have to be in 100% control of how I respond to things. So if someone on your job says something out of order, you know, it's up to you to digest what they said, right? And really put that in perspective. But you are in control how you respond to that. Now you're also still in control how you respond to things in your personal life. But here's where we talk about accountability. Your friends and your family should be closely connected to you on a more intimate level than strangers. So within that, you spend a lot of your time, a lot of your personal time with these people, even including, someone that especially someone you are in a romantic relationship with. So with that being said, here is where the gears begin to start to crank up a lot, and accountability is spreaded, is shared, right? So as you're dealing with coworkers, people, strangers that you don't know, the accountability is on you. So it still means that you can have relationship with people, that you work with, or you can have relationship with strangers that just, very friendshiply, just friendship and things like that. But also having the accountability is on you to having the digestion of understanding that you don't know what they got going on behind closed doors because you don't share that particular space with them. And if someone is having a bad day or if someone is acting a certain way, you don't take it personal. Never take it personal. If it's someone you don't know, never take it personal. But as we shift these gears to someone who is. Now, as we shift these gears to someone who is trying to be in an intimate space in your life, or you have invited them into the space in your life and you have a connection with them on multiple ways, then the responsibility of accountability has to be shared. you should not be taking the bulk of that. So, an example, what I mean is, if you don't like the way someone, a friend of yours, a romantic partner, or a family, how they handle conflict, hold them accountable for that. You know, and so what I mean by holding them accountable is, as you two share your moments together, you make sure that you're very transparent with them, with your communication with them about how you feel about certain things, how you interact, how you respond to things. And if anyone, no matter who it is, if they violate that trust, they violate that principle, then you hold them accountable for that. You know. So as I get into the meat of what I'm saying, so let's talk about you being in a romantic relationship and your spouse says something highly disrespectful to you. Now it's important to really dissect that, who you are. Now I'm speaking from a point of, we first and foremost hold ourselves accountable to our true nature and really digesting that. So if you are someone who like conflict, then you automatically understand that because you like conflict, that's what's gonna come towards you. But let's speak on a level of where you are you're not a conflicting person, but then you find yourself in places and spaces with people who just have so much going on with their lives, and just their principles do not align with yours, or their values do not align with yours, and the way they approach you, the way they talk to you, the way they greet you, the way they respect you, you know, is not in the manner that you treat them. You can still have love for that person, but hold them accountable to the way they treat you. And holding them accountable means is that in many cases, you have to stop putting yourself in a position to where you are around that person because they just don't get it. You know, they're no longer around you. They're no longer in your space. They're no longer occupying your energy because they just don't get it. So where the love and accountability comes in at is that you love that person enough to continue to allow them to be themselves, where you're not trying to make them be what you want them to be, and you're not over putting yourself in a position to where when you come around, people have to be a certain way. No, it should never be that way. But the love is still the same. But the love has its limit. The love has its value. Because when it comes to accountability, you know where they cap off at when it comes to respect, when it comes to loyalty, when it comes to disposition, when it comes to morals, when it comes to principles. And at each of those pillars, you know the value that you put that person at. You know, you measure that. You in a relationship with somebody who's unfaithful, you measure that. You know that hey, you unfaithful. Yeah, I still love you, but hey, guess what? That's not me. That's not my space. That's not my value. You can still love them, but let them go. Let them be who they are. You know, respect for yourself says, hey, I get it. I get it, but I don't get it. I know where you are, but that's not where I'm at. You know, same thing goes for conflict. If you have a conflict with a family member, it's a matter of understanding where they are. Okay, I get it. That's where you at with it. That's not where I'm at with it. I'm not gonna allow you to take me there with you. But guess what? I still have love for you. However, this is where our communication ends. When it gets to this point, this is where our communication ends. So yes, this is one of those vital things I think that it's not talked about a lot, because what's being promoted is that you got to be all foots in or all foots out. And I think that terminology kind of implies that oneself is kind of still kind of unsure of them, of who they are. But when you are sure of who you are truly invested in you. You know your tolerance level. You know what heightens you. You know what lowers you. And never let anyone lower you to their standards. You know? But just because you walk away from a situation, just because you walk away from communication, just because you walk away from a dispute, doesn't mean that you value a person any less. What it means, you value you more. That is, I got love for you. I still have love for you. But I hold you accountable for how you are around me or how you treat me and how you represent yourself towards me. And it's straight like that. I always remember y'all. And that's the uncut truth.